of scientifically explaining the world around them. Of course, some thinkers and philosophers at that time still managed to make some amazing discoveries, such as accurately estimating the circumference of the Earth. But for everything they got right, they also got a lot wrong. Yet when one reads the Quran, you find a distinct characteristic. The descriptions of the natural world in the Quran seem remarkably timeless. The Quran addresses various levels of intellect at various times and has a whole host of meanings for a particular word that it uses to describe the natural world. These words can relate to the past and present understanding of the physical world, and they can relate to non-scientific meanings too. They can be spiritual and moral insights. Let's take a look at some examples. The orbits of planets, and it is He who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. All heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming. At the time of revelation of the Quran, the Arabic word in the verse used to describe the motion of the sun and the moon. Yasbahuna, which means swimming or floating, which would have made sense to the 7th century desert Arabs, because they could observe planets with the naked eye. But the word also makes sense to us in the 21st century, as it can relate to today's scientific findings on celestial mechanics, the orbits of the planets in space. Interestingly, the above verse also mentions that the sun is floating or swimming in an orbit. This can address the 7th century primitive view that the sun was orbiting around the earth, but on closer inspections of the language used in the Quran, we can conclude that it can also address the accurate 21st century view that the sun has its own orbit. The sun orbits the Milky Way, and according to scientists, it takes 226 million years to completely orbit around the center of the Milky Way. Position of the sun in the Milky Way image credit NASA. Milky Way. The expansion of the universe and the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are its expander. The Quran explains that God created the universe with a power or strength, and that He is the one who expands it from a classical 7th century perspective. This verse meant that God made the universe vast and provided us with sustenance and provisions. This would have been easily appreciated and understood by 7th century listeners. However, what is remarkable is that the Arabic word used for expansion, lamusiuna, also means that God is actually continuously expanding the